less thinking, more doing. So recently I went back for my annual military reservice, and I kind of like met a friend, and he was talking about how he wanted to start online business as well. He mentioned that he has been researching all along. He has been doing all kinds of research, right? He's only doing researching. That's all he does. And that's all he did. That's what he told me. We were talking about, how to actually make more money outside of our regular jobs. So he has a typical regular job. He has a 8 to 5 job, typical office type of jobs, right? So he was asking me, how do you actually make money online? Right? He was trying to find other ways to basically make passive income, right? Those are the words. Those are the exact words that he said to me. He's like, hey, Bo, please let me know how and what are the ways that someone can actually make money online for beginners, right? And then when I asked him what are things that he has been researching about, what are things that he is interested in, what are things that he has passion in, all those good stuff, right? All those typical stuff to actually start making your online business. He didn't really tell me the things that he was interested in. He said things such as like, he felt that he has nothing to monetize on. He felt that he has no skills. He felt that he has nothing to share with the world. I beg to differ, right? I beg to differ. He's around, if I'm not wrong, he's like 30 years old as well. So I believe he has already garnered a lot of life experience as well. Not just life experience, but work experience as well. You can actually, monetize your solutions. You can always solve your own problems and sell the solution. That's what we always talk about. That's what we always preach. Solve your own problems and sell the solution. You can do so with a one-person business. Top link in the description if you want to start your first one-person business online. All right, so anyway, get back to the topic. So he was telling me he's been researching a lot on e-commerce. He's been researching on e-commerce. He has been researching on dropshipping particularly, because I used to do dropshipping as well. I used to have e-commerce brands as well back then. And then he was talking about like, he did a lot of research, but the main thing is, has he done it? Has he actually put in the work? Has he actually tried an e-commerce store? Has he actually tried his own dropshipping store? And when I asked him that, he told me straight up, no, I haven't. I have not started my first dropshipping store. I have not started any form of online business. Okay, I get it. There could be a lot of reasons, right? So I asked him, oh, why not? Why don't you try your first dropshipping store, your first e-commerce store, since that is something that you want to try. And that is obviously something that you're curious about, right? Which is why you did so much research, right? Which is why you did so much thinking and not doing. So that's why I asked him, right? I asked him, why not? Just give it a shot. Just give it a shot, man. And then he was like, oh, his particular reason was he has no time. He has no time. He was like, hey, man, I work from Mondays to Fridays. Sometimes I work on the weekends as well. I have to travel around the country. I have to meet clients, here and there. And then I'm like, okay, I understand. Sure. But what about the weekends? Like I said, sometimes he works on the weekends. I understand as well. And then, like I said also, it's not always, right? And then I asked him, on those days when you are not working on the weekends, what do you do? He was like, oh, rest and recovery, man. I gotta rest and recover, right? I gotta recover from the long week, the long work week. I just don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna, stay at home, watch videos, watch Netflix, hang out with his girlfriend, things of that nature. Maybe do some sports as well. Maybe work out, different priorities, right? So He was like, yeah, that's what I do, man. That's what I do on the weekends. Don't really have the mood, don't really have the energy to invest in another form of work, right? So that's what I said. So that's why he asked me, what is something that he can actually set up once and then just leave it over there and just have it run on the background without him having to lift another finger. He just wants to build something that basically pays him every single day, every single month, every single week. I mean, that's what everybody wants, right? Passive income. Not having to do much and just earn money from it. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody wants. Me included, obviously. That's like the perfect scenario, right? That's what everybody talks about. Passive income this, passive income that. But nobody actually talks about active income as well. That's another topic. That will be another topic. So what I'm trying to say is that you can do all the research in the world, but if you don't put in the action, if you don't put the theory into practical, you're not going to learn anything. Because what actually makes us learn? Lessons, failures, mistakes, be it in, your business, be it in your relationships, be it in your, what else? Health related activities, physical activities as well. So many things, right? If you fall down, then you make sure that you do not do that particular action that made you fell down. And then you learn from it, right? So the best teacher is failure. That doesn't really sound that good. The best teacher is your mistakes, let's put it that way, right? Because you learn from it. But if you don't learn from it, then joke's on you then, right? Obviously, we can make mistakes, but we need to learn from it and then don't repeat it. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you keep on just researching and not putting any work, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not moving the needle. You're not even getting closer to your goal. You can do all the research, right? Researching is easy. It feels safe. You're like in your comfort zone. You're not spending money. You're not spending money to learn anything. You're not spending money meaning to say that advertisement, right? Paid ads. That's what I did. And that's what most people did as well. It's almost like a rite of passage if you want to do e-commerce. Not just e-commerce, but if you want to do anything, if you want to learn anything, right, you have to pay money. I've bought courses already, right? In the past, I was like, oh, I'm not going to buy anything to learn anything. And then I realized that it's a bit foolish. Because if you think about it as well, schools are the same thing, right? You're like literally you're paying money to get an education, an offline education. And then this time round, it's just an online education. What's the difference? It's just a different platform that you're learning. And excuse me, even in schools, right, there is this thing called e-learning as well, right? There's an online learning. Everything is integrated online as well already. So whenever people say online education is a scam this, scam that, I don't want to pay money to be educated online. Why? Because it's a scam. It's a scam. What scam? What scam? Calm down, all right? Calm down. Think about it. Just try to make sense out of it. Like schools are okay. Schools are not scams. But online education is a scam. I'll just leave it as that, all right? I'll just leave it as that. You guys can just draw your own conclusions from there. So that's besides the point. I digress. So less thinking, more doing. So I just told my friend, I was told him to just do it, right? Everyone's busy. Obviously, everyone is busy. Everyone has their own work. Everyone has their own 9 to 5. Everyone has their own commitments. But end of the day, it all boils down to priorities. If you guys actually just sit down and think about it, it all boils down to priorities. Do you want to put in more work, to get closer to the ideal future of yours? You have to make some sacrifices, right? It's like after long days of work, the first thing that you want to do when you reach home is to just relax and chill, right? throw on Netflix, have your favorite comfort food, right? And then maybe don't work out. Or maybe work out, right? That will be your priority. And then after you work out, you'll be like, oh, I don't have any time left, man. I don't have any time left to invest energy into the other work project. So in that case, if you think about it, working out is your priority and not working on your side hustle. That is not a priority. And it's fine, right? Everybody has their own priorities in life. Maybe, you want to go on a date with your significant other. That is your priority. And it's fine as well, right? Everyone has their own priorities. But just don't complain, right? Just don't complain at the end of the day saying that you don't have this, because you never put in the work. It all boils down to priorities. Everyone has 24 hours, right? Every single one of us have 24 hours in a day. I don't have 25 hours. I don't have 26 hours. You don't have 2, right? All of us has equal amount of hours in a day. And it's up to us what we do with it. So it all boils down to priorities. Seriously. So for the friend of mine, I don't know, man. All I have to say is just do it. The more you find reasons to justify your lack of actions, right? You're not gonna progress anything. Every single year I do meet them because it's like an annual reservice for my military, right? The next year I'm gonna ask him, has he done anything about it? Alright, I'll make an update. Comment down below if you guys want me to make an update to this video. If he actually made any progress, or did he even start his e-commerce store, his dropshipping store. Let me know. Let me know if you guys want to hear it. If you guys want an update to this. For you guys, less thinking, more doing. Paralysis analysis is a thing. I've been researching as well back then when I was doing my dropshipping stores, when I was doing e-commerce. That was my first official online business that I dabbled in. I did a lot of research. Just like my friend. He was even telling me all the stuffs that, that all those gurus are talking about. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I understand, I know, yep, I agree here and there. He knows his stuff, but it's all just on paper, just theory stuff. Nothing came from him, right? There were no results from him. There were no personal opinions. There are no personal experiences that came from him. He's just talking about other people's stuff. What's the point, right? What's the point? It's not your story. It's not your flex. So, just do it, man. Because I've been in his shoes. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys as well. You guys are maybe thinking about starting your own online business. Maybe you guys are thinking of, doing whatever it is, right? And then you guys are just, researching online and then not putting any work. Not doing it, right? Not doing the actual work. I get it. I was in your shoes. I took very, very long to make a decision. Yeah. Until my friend one day, who did dropshipping first, I was like talking to him, right? And then he was like, yo, Bo, stop talking to me. Stop messaging me. If you want my help, right, from him, from my friend, he was like, buy your domain first. Buy your website domain and then get back to me. Show me the proof they actually buy your domain, right? Your website domain, which is like what, around, I can't remember, $10 or so is a really, really cheap price. Yeah. Buy that first and then show the proof to my friend and then he will start replying back to me. That's what he told me. Yeah. And that really triggered like a sense of urgency in my head. And then I was like, okay, just do it. I just did it. And then once I bought my domain, it was a snowball effect. I started to do the other stuffs that I researched heavily on, right? Starting my Shopify store, designing my Shopify store, and then integrating all the suppliers, all those good stuff. Yeah. One thing just led to another. It was a domino effect. So the main thing is starting. That's the hardest part. That is the hardest part, I know. Like not just online business, right? Like everything else as well in life. Starting is always the hardest part. Everything else is just, it will all just snowball. I understand. I know. So just know that it's not going to do you any good if you just research and make no progress. There's just no progress, right? Why would you want to be stuck in like level 0 when you know yourself that you want to go to maybe level 10, right? That is your end goal. Like you know yourself. So why are you not doing anything about it? And then why are you still just, complaining about it? What's the point? Right? Don't complain. Right? Don't complain. Maybe you can start complaining once you put into action, once you put in the work, and then you have like negative results. Then okay, sure, complain about it. At least you have something to complain about. They came from you. If not, don't waste your time, man. Don't waste your time researching. Don't waste your time thinking. It's a waste of time, right? It's a waste of time. You feel good, right? You feel good. You feel better just by researching. You feel like you're doing something, but in actual reality, you're not, right? You're not actually doing anything. Just because you research, you feel better about yourself. You feel like you're working, right? But actually, you're not. You're just lying to yourself. You're just tricking yourself. Yeah. And then when you told me the line, that's it. I don't want to pay money to learn. My God, at that point of time, I'm like, get out, right? Don't talk to me anymore, man. Just don't even get near to me. Yeah. That's what I felt, man. That's what I felt. I mean, that is already the wrong attitude to begin with. Which, like I said, I can understand it because I was in his shoes as well back then. I didn't want to invest in my own education. But now I think about it, it's foolish, right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Now you should, if you want to fast track your learning experience, right? Your entire journey, right? You might as well just pay money from someone else that's already experienced it. Obviously, you have to find a credible one. Obviously, you have to find a credible one, a legit one. Then it makes sense. Don't get scammed, of course. Right? I'm not asking you guys to just blindly throw your money on online strangers. No, obviously not. Do your own research, your own due diligence about that particular course seller, right? Do your own due diligence first. Make sure it's legit, make sure it's credible, make sure it's someone that you want to learn from, make sure they actually accomplished the thing that you want to accomplish as well. Makes sense, right? It makes sense. Just like internships, attachments, job attachments, you learn under someone else because they're in a position where you want to be, right? Maybe they're the senior and you're the junior. Same role, but you learn under them, under their wing. Same concept, right? You guys get the point, right? You guys get my point, I'm sure. So that's it, man. That's what I'm trying to say. Less thinking, more doing. Less thinking, more doing, guys. Just remember that. Especially when it comes to online business, because I realize that a lot of people are just watching from the sidelines. All the audiences are just watching and they're not doing anything. Just watching, just watching from the just watching from the back and not even putting any input and not even putting any action. Just watching from the sides, like some creep, right? I was like that as well. That's the thing. That's the thing, because I understand as well. I researched like almost a year and I did no action. I didn't put in any action. I did not put in any action, right? So to my friend and to all of you guys out there, just do it, right? Yes, priorities, I understand. Work, life, family, commitments, all this good stuff. But just remember this. It all boils down to priorities. It all boils down to priorities. I have another friend, he used to gym with me. And then I guess his reason, right? His reason was, work got in the way, right? Work got in the way and I can't gym as much as I want to before with me, right? And he kind of like just stopped going to the gym. And I asked him, what do you do after work? I go home, I eat, right? And then I'm like, oh, I'm tired. I don't want to go to the gym anymore. Okay, I understand. Okay, I understand. I'm like, you're not the only one who has a very tiring schedule, right? I understand as well, like I said, it obviously is tiring. Obviously it's tiring. But what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of other people out there who are in your same shoes, but manage to make it work as well. If they can do it, so can you, right? They're hungry as well. Obviously, they also want comfort food. They want to get comfortable as well. Everybody wants to. You're not the only one, right? It all boils down to priorities. Instead of going home straight from work, maybe you can go straight to the gym. Force yourself, Force yourself, put yourself in situations where it's very difficult to say no. Yeah, that's another example. All right. So, less thinking, more doing.